Liberal Viewer presents.
So one of the failures of the first year of the Obama administration was the ineffectiveness of Obama's efforts to foster a less politically partisan atmosphere. So I was particularly pleased last week to see the president spend over an hour engaging in discussions with House Republicans, which you could see in full in a variety of places, including by clicking on this video from Barack Obama's YouTube channel. But one place you could not see this great cross-partisan dialogue was on Fox News, which apparently couldn't handle all the fairness and balance, cutting away from this news event some 20 minutes early, as you can see in this clip.
Well, I understand that. I've actually read your bills.
Well, that's President Obama. He is meeting with House Republicans in Baltimore, answering a bunch of questions, everything from energy to health care. The president at times being a little bit combative and supporting his. I mean, he acknowledged a couple of mistakes along the way, but much like he did in the State of the Union, has very much held firm to the beliefs in what his administration has done.
But in fact, while the president certainly held firm in many areas, it was actually pretty apparent from the dialogue that on a whole host of issues, Barack Obama has reached out and continues to reach out for centrist compromises, and it's the Republicans who are unwilling to meet him in the middle, a fact that the Republican leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, inadvertently let slip in the Freudian sense in a Fox News interview the day before, you can see here.
He did mention nuclear power plants last night. That is a good solution to carbon emissions and to the climate change issue. He mentioned clean coal technology. Those are the kinds of things we could do on a bipartisan basis, but not things like the national energy tax, commonly referred to as cap and trade, not having the government take over 1/6 of our economy, which is our health care. Those are not the kind of things that we're going to meet him to do.
Now, it's not just the way Mitch McConnell almost inadvertently admitted there that he won't meet Obama in the middle, but in the actual substance of even just the four issues Senator McConnell mentioned, it's obvious who is the real centrist. On nuclear power and so-called clean coal, President Obama has virtually adopted the Republican positions, which apparently is the Republican definition of bipartisanship, because Senator McConnell rejected cap and trade, which applies free market principles to an environmental problem for a centrist solution, and McConnell also obstructed the Senate health care bill, which, in the end, as President Obama pointed out in his discussion with House Republicans,
at its core, if you look at the basic proposal that we put forward, that has an exchange so that businesses and the self-employed can buy into a pool and can get bargaining power the same way big companies do, the insurance reforms that I've already discussed, making sure that there's choice and competition for those who don't have health insurance. The component parts of this thing are pretty similar to what Howard Baker, Bob Dole, and Tom Daschle proposed at the beginning of this debate last year.
And that's true because despite all the rhetoric, the health care bill crafted by the Obama administration and the Congress turned out to be a very centrist bill. In addition to the centrist proposals already mentioned in the areas of energy and the environment, added to the stimulus bill, which was about a third tax cuts, all lead me to think that the fault for the failure to foster a less politically partisan atmosphere does not lie entirely or even mostly with President Barack Obama. But I want to know what you think. Who has made the most effort both in rhetoric and in substance to bridge the partisan divide that prevents getting things done? And as I add this video to my Fox News Bias playlist on the Fox News Bias question, is there any journalistic excuse for Fox News' failure to cover in its entirety this great dialogue between President Barack Obama and House Republicans that both CNN and MSNBC broadcast in full last week?
YouTube, you decide.